Did you know some of your favorite foods were complete accidents? No secret recipe, no grand plan, just happy little mistakes that ended up on dinner plates all over the world. Today, we're diving into 10 famous foods that were invented completely by accident. First up, the mighty potato chip. Believe it or not, this crunchy snack was born out of pure spite. The story goes that a chef in New York had a customer who kept sending his fried potatoes back, complaining they were too thick and soggy. Fed up, the chef decided to teach him a lesson. He sliced the potatoes paper thin, fried them to a crisp, and loaded them with salt. He expected the customer to hate them, but instead, the customer loved them. And just like that, one of the world's most popular snacks was born from an act of culinary revenge. Next, let's talk about the chocolate chip cookie. This classic dessert was never supposed to exist. Back in the 1930s, a baker named Ruth Wakefield ran out of baker's chocolate while making cookies. In a pinch, she chopped up a semi-sweet chocolate bar, expecting the pieces to melt and spread throughout the dough. But they didn't. Instead, the chunks held their shape, creating pockets of gooey melted chocolate. Her accidental creation became an instant hit, and the recipe for the Toll House cookie is still printed on bags of chocolate chips today. What about the ice cream cone? This was an invention born of pure necessity. At the 1904 World's Fair, an ice cream vendor was so busy that he ran out of bowls. People were lining up, and he had no way to serve them. Luckily, a waffle vendor in the booth next door had an idea. He took one of his thin waffles, rolled it into a cone shape, and let it cool. He handed it to the ice cream vendor, who scooped the ice cream right on top. It was a perfect edible solution that completely changed the way we eat ice cream forever. Number 4 is the popsicle, invented by an 11-year-old boy. In 1905, Frank Epperson mixed some sugary soda powder with water in a cup and accidentally left it on his porch overnight with the stirring stick still inside. It was a cold night and the mixture froze solid. The next morning, he discovered a sweet frozen treat on a stick. He called it an Epsicle, but years later, his own children started calling them Popsicles, and the name popsicle stuck. A simple childhood accident became a summertime staple. Let's move on to breakfast with cornflakes. This breakfast giant was another kitchen mishap. In the late 1800s, two brothers, John and Will Kellogg, were trying to create a new, healthy food for patients at a sanitarium. They were boiling wheat, but got called away and left it out for too long. When they returned, the wheat had gone stale. Instead of throwing it away, they tried to roll it out into sheets, but it broke apart into little flakes. They toasted the flakes and served them to the patients, who loved them. They later tried the same process with corn, and cornflakes were born. Cheese, a food that's been around for thousands of years, was likely an accidental discovery. Ancient travelers and shepherds used to store milk in pouches made from the stomachs of animals. They didn't know that these stomach linings contained an enzyme called rennet. As they traveled under the hot sun, the rennet caused the milk to separate into solid curds and liquid whey. When they opened their pouches for a drink of milk, they found a tasty, solid food instead. This simple storage mistake gave us one of the most diverse and beloved foods in history. Number 7 is champagne, the drink of celebration. But originally, the bubbles were seen as a flaw. In the Champagne region of France, the cold winters would stop the fermentation process of wine before all the sugar was converted to alcohol. When warmer spring weather arrived, the yeast would wake up and start fermenting again inside the sealed bottles. This second fermentation created carbon dioxide gas, which got trapped and made the wine fizzy. For a long time, winemakers saw this as a sign of poor winemaking until someone decided those bubbles were actually quite delightful. Next is yogurt. Much like cheese, yogurt was discovered long before we understood the science of fermentation. Thousands of years ago, herdsmen in Central Asia would store milk in containers. The combination of warm temperatures and naturally present bacteria in the air caused the milk to thicken and develop a tangy flavor. This process not only preserved the milk, but also created a healthy, probiotic-rich food. What started as spoiled milk became a global health food. Worcestershire sauce has a strange origin story. In the 1800s, two chemists were asked to recreate a sauce that a nobleman had enjoyed in India. Their first attempt was a complete failure. The smell was overpowering and the taste was terrible. They declared it a disaster and stored the barrel in their cellar, completely forgetting about it. A few years later, they stumbled upon the barrel while cleaning. Before throwing it out, they decided to taste it one more time. To their amazement, the aging process had transformed the foul mixture into a complex, savory sauce. Time turned a total failure into a kitchen essential. Finally, the sandwich. The ultimate convenience food was created by someone who simply didn't want to get his hands dirty. The story goes that in the 18th century, John Montagu, the 4th Earl of Sandwich, was an avid card player. He didn't want to leave the gaming table for a proper meal, so he asked his servant to bring him some meat tucked between two slices of bread. This allowed him to eat with one hand while continuing his game with the other. His friends started asking for the same as sandwich, and the name stuck. A simple solution for a lazy gambler became a lunchtime staple around the globe. So there you have it, from vengeful chefs to forgotten experiments. Some of the world's greatest foods were never meant to be. The next time you have a kitchen mishap, who knows? You might be on the verge of creating the next big thing. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing stories.